Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Path of Exile. My name is Wilfred. I'm still playing my ranger, this Abyss League. Suddenly an elephant come by. She is level 38 Halevna. The name is at the description of the video. Feel free to add me in game so that we could play together somehow. So it is more or less like just an update video. So in the first part of the video, talking about where I am in terms of the leveling development and so on. And the second part of the video is really a compilation of some of the gameplay on the dungeons, more or less like the corrupted version, as well as the some of the boss fights and a lot of Abyss kind of like events. So I hope they'll be entertaining. I haven't really done a video on the so-called corrupted kind of dungeons. I don't know what to call it, but it is like a small dungeon. You go in, you kill the boss, and there is a chance to drop something called a Bow gem. So it could be any of this type. The closest thing I can explain for the fans of the Marvel heroes is that these are like the ultimate kind of thing that you can store a number of users and use it like ultimate kind of thing. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, none of these gems are really good for my build, but just to illustrate what are the things you can play in this game. In terms of the gear wise, I mean, I seriously think that this game is really a lot of like RNG. I hardly find any items I could upgrade. I mean, I could find some, you know, and try to upgrade, but I find that you know, things are getting harder and harder. And I think sooner or later I have to do some active trading in terms of selling as well as buying. Not my favorite type of like activities in any MMO, but it's just something that I have to do in Path of Exile because I think I'm hitting the kind of plateau pretty soon. I've managed to breach a bit of like you know, I hit a ceiling, and after that, because I remember one of my friend Halton has given me a gem, and this jewel is kind of good for my claw build. Once I put it in, I see instant differences. Just one gem, I mean, it can make all the difference. I mean, you can really see the benefit of trading. I've been playing a lot of Abyss, and you can see that I collected a lot of like eyeballs, but you know, honestly, none of this I could really use for my build. So it really tells you a lot about the RNG kind of like a nature of the game. You just keep farming and nothing that you could use, and you have to trade and try to get something that you could use by selling things that you can't use. So that is basically part of the game in Path of Exile. Now, a lot of discussion in my YouTube channel on what gem to use and so on and so forth. I mean, I really appreciate you guys' opinions. It means a lot to me as I'm still learning the game. But you know, bear in mind that for low-level players like me, there aren't really a lot of options. There's a lot of free sockets or four-socket kind of like you know, gear-wise. You know, there aren't really a lot of things I could do really. I mean, you know, I'm not going to invest the kind of like crafting material just to get 4-socket, you know, linked up and stuff like that. Not at this level. So you know, I've been struggling quite a lot in some of this gameplay, but it is what it is. In terms of my gem wise, I've been kind of experimenting a few options and build. Like for example, a lot of you been advising me to use the Molten Strike as well as the Ancestral Core, and that works fine. I mean, you know, there's no complaint. The only thing is that, I mean, tooltip wise, you could say I should ignore it because some of these balls can overlap, like this one here. You know, when you hit, it could overlap, which I totally understand. It's just that even as I experiment, as you see later in the video, it just doesn't really do the kind of DPS that I would love it to be. Now I could, I mean, for my third gem, I have faster attack support, which is 491. I could do an added code which give me like a 504. It's still not a dramatic kind of increase in my DPS, although I understand that this tooltip could be a little bit misleading because it doesn't count the other balls that hit, but it still gives me some indication of what will happen when I swap some gems. As far as my Frost Blade wise, I've been linking it up with the faster attack as well as the Ice Bite as well as the increased crit strike support. I mean, you know, I could swap the added cold damage gem into the Ice Bite, so you could see quite a dramatic difference to it. But it's just that I kind of like to experiment a little bit on the Ice Bite side of it because it does give you a bit of utility to freeze targets, as well as when you gain Frenzy, it's a lot easier to gain Frenzy with Ice Bite. then, you know, I can have extra damage. So I would expect it to ramp up a little bit as I deal damage and increase my frenzy. And also I could then use my Assassin Smart instead of the Poacher Smart, because I do not need to generate frenzy through the curse. I can generate frenzy through the gem. So I'm just experimenting. I mean, right now 4 links is what I could afford and what I see so far. I mean, there's nothing else I can do right now. So that is all in this first part of the video. Second part of the video is all about the gameplay. So this is one of the corrupted kind of like instance, and I'm going in. There are some monster reflect damage, and it could be rather interesting. I was a little bit concerned whether I should take out some of my gem to swap out the elemental damage, but I just went in to see how bad it will be when I get the reflect. So as I deal elemental damage with quite a lot of my spell has it, I just want to test like how bad it is when I do that. But as you can see, I mean, I do damage myself a little bit as I reflect back to myself. But because I do have life leech in my passive tree, so it is really not that terrible. It's still bearable. So I would just like you know, cautiously advancing my way through. Maybe because of my experience with the past league, reflect is always a little bit painful, so I try not to get too many mobs at the same time. And this is the curse, by the way, that helped me to generate frenzy. Now, in this part of the video, I still haven't got the gem to my belt yet, because I kind of forgot that my friend Halton has given me a nice gem for my claw. So I'm still using without a gem, and you can see that it's kind of a little bit slow, I think, in a way. I got 3 charges of frenzy, and let's see, a little bit kiting here. It does hit quite hard though, this guy, the Blood Moon or whatever it is, but you know, it's fine. I mean, at the end, it is just a matter of managing the flask, popping it at the right time, and this is one of the valve vessel. We have the valve gem, which is double strike. Nothing fantastic. It's not something I would use. Second video is on the kind of like a corrupted or val kind of like an instance, and I can't remember what was the buff itself, but it does have some. It did have some kind of challenge, and it's you know, I remember all this mob used to be rather. Yeah, this is pretty gruesome, man. I mean, you know, Path of Exile is not for the faint-hearted one. There's quite a fair bit of like a torture and stuff like that. They are trying to, I think, experimenting on the gems and so on. So, well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I do not know why my camera just stay on here for quite some time, but well, anyway. So I am going to try to get the boss. And by the way, this is one of the, I can't remember what is it called, the shrine. Sorry. So you can actually get a shrine and get the special effect, turn your world to ice. And this is a good time to rush to the boss if I could, and or just, you know, you can just do anything really with that scroll of wisdom. Yes, you need those to identify items so that I can, you know, sell it for better profit. So yep, that is one. I'm moving my way through, and so far so good. Yeah. And I've leveled up my Molten Strike. I think right now it is about level 7 versus my Frostblade, which is level 11. But as I mean, you know, I think that's why the Frostblade is still better than my Molten Strike. But I used to try to use both to see a difference. I honestly can't tell the difference at all. So another double strike, which is kind of useless. But anyway, so that's done. Now the third one is on the AB side. Now I've already jammed up with the very nice claw kind of gem on my belt, thanks to Halton, my friend. And man, you look at the difference here. It's just so much easier to kill off any. And this kind of abyss boss could be rather harmful. I mean, some of these things hurt like crazy. But I managed to leech back the life for quite a fair bit, although there was some scary moment there, and I think I have to stay on the abyss for it to continue spawn out the monster. So there is a reason why I need to go back there again and try not to kite too far away. And I follow the abyss onto the last lake, which is there are 2 elite there. Quite a fair bit of things here. It's so much easier when you have better loot. I mean better gear make it so much easier. It's just one of those things. You can really see the effect of gear, which kind of make me a little bit worried, because I know that sooner or later I will have to trade and get better gear. And yeah, that's it. That's the trove. So trove usually drop the bell or jewel. In this case, aren't really a lot. This is the second abyss as well. So it's quite a lot of like abyss going on. This mob hits rather hard. This is a melee one. I think that was the ice spike in action. The guy got frozen a little bit. So yeah, it is useful. Yeah, it's so much easier with the right gear. Just one dam, that's it, you know. So much different. You know, sometimes when I play Path of Exile this day though, I mean, I feel a little bit, you know, I wish I could get some gear by just playing the game for myself. It's much like Diablo. So in some sense, I found that Diablo is more satisfying from a looting perspective, because I know that if I play, I'll get some gear I can use if I keep playing. So I hunt for gear rather than just keep trading for gear. But that's just me. There's another boss there. Should be rather easy as well. I don't know why I find it a little bit target at this corner, but yeah, that's it. Yep, and that is the abyss throw. Yay, a bit more stuff, and yep. This is the piety fight, one of the mini boss of Act 3, and I mean, you can see that boss is actually easier than the abyss bosses, as you will see later. Which I find it a little bit, you know, strange, because I thought boss supposed to be, yeah. Anyway, so I do both the Molten Strike as well as the Frostblade. I don't really see a different, man. I mean, seriously, I try to drop the balls, but maybe it's better. I don't know. It just doesn't seem. Yeah, I mean, either way, it's fine. It's kind of easier than abyss kind of bosses.
Death doesn't fix anything, Piety, but at least it won't get any worse.
Yeah, I mean, Piety is kind of like an evil kind of person. I think she has been experimenting a lot on this, like, you know, human being there. I think it's rather gruesome. So no, Path of Exile is not for the faint-hearted. Another abyss kind of like a event crack here, and it's rather hilarious. This one I remember. Is it this one? I can't remember. Is it this one or not? But one of them was kind of hilarious, because there was, like, you know, monster at the other side that I couldn't quite reach. Okay, so that is one of them, and I was just like making sure that I was trying to see where is a crack, and I was trying to see, oh no, I can't get this monster on the other side, and I don't know what to do with it. And I leveled at the right moment. Nice, lovely. And I was wondering where on earth is a crack. So I couldn't quite find it, and ooh, that's it, that's the trove. I was wondering where on earth is this, man, and I found the trove. Yeah. So that's nice. Quite a few things here. Now this is the to the Act 3 final boss, which is the Dominus at the Scepter of God. So I love the opening scene here, but I'll skip through the rest of it and jump straight to the rooftop for you guys. Compilation. So it's just walking up a couple of phases. And I'm going to use a mix of Frostblade as well as Molten Strike because of the distance.
Women's purpose to attempt to try the will of man.
So there are a couple of guards here. Now there is a boss. I think there are two bosses here, and Imperator. Interesting. So one of them is down. The other one is actually hit rather hard, but I managed to survive through it. There's a caster as well. Kind of annoying. Yeah, that's fine. I got him in the end. So use it to fill up flask, but my flask is fine. This one is the craze, Kali the craze. So it's down as well. So sooner or later is phase 2 coming. So I'm using a bit of Molten Strike as well because there's quite a lot of mobs around.
Have you ever seen the true face of God exiled?
So Dominus in human form. Wow, he looks a bit blue, man. And this one hit rather hard, all these bodies here. You're supposed to hide somewhere, I think, to... I mean, you're supposed to hide somewhere for that kind of mechanism. But I mean, you know, manage to just eat it through, just lead through the whole thing. Yeah, it's actually rather entertaining, actually, now that I'm looking at it this way. Yeah, there's some curses that I got as well. 2 curses on me, actually, think about it. Next bit is the Nightmare. It's just a matter of DPSing the boss down inside the Doom. I think outside it will be a lot of like, I don't know, kind of damage over time on the character. Right, so that's the Nightmare. And here we go. Here is the one that I just Molten Strike the whole thing. I mean, no, this is the one I'm using Frostblade. And after that I switch to Molten Strike, I think here. I mean, as you can see the rate, I mean maybe it's a slightly faster, I don't know. It looks the same to me, whether I'm using it's like, yeah. So I'm Frostblade, Molten Strike. Nah, I can't tell the difference. I mean, both are like pretty much the same to me, really. I mean, can you guys tell the difference? No, right? I mean, so that's it. I've completed it, and after that, I got to 4th one. There are Essence as well as ABs. So this is F4. I said, may as well do the ABs. And the mobs, of course, is higher level now. It does go with the level. It's harder a little bit. And I'm using a bit of like Molten Strike as well. Rushing to the second Abyss, the crack itself. Yeah. I mean, with just one gem, it's so much different, man. It's crazy. The third one here is the last 2 of them that came out. It's quite a large bunch of it though. There are some elite on the other side. There are some curses as well. Yeah, there's some curses. I don't know what the curses are, but yeah. And that's it. Abyss Trove. And the very last one is Essence. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the Abyss as well. I have a lot of fun, although my progress is not really that fantastic. But you know, so far I've been trying my best, and I'll see how far I can go taking this character to the end of the season and see how it goes. All right, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.